Well, welcome back to Live on Patrol. Pat and I are up in the city of New Brighton. We were thinking we don't get up here very often. Truth be known, we're looking for somebody up here. But it's pretty rare that there's a suspect that actually lives up here, but so we're just tooling around the city of New Brighton looking for a particular car that we can't give you, unfortunately. But nice little town. Under Sheriff Mike Martin actually lives up here. Him and his lovely wife.
376. 376.
What a shocking, cool day to wake up to after the nice weather the last few days, huh?
Pat bought me some cough drops because I've been talking so much that I think my voice is going. I don't know why that is exactly. And as you know, we don't talk about the trial, but as we speak, the jury is deliberating in the Derek Chauvin trial. But a lot of other things have taken place. Of course, you're aware of the carjacking incident yesterday in Burnsville, and the suspect shooting at officers.
Yep.
Then trying to carjack another car with a woman at gunpoint. And then the officers eventually did shoot and kill the suspect after he fired at them. So those are the newest items, but of course the Brooklyn Center issues continue to bubble. We just want you to know that all of our police officers in Ramsey County and St. Paul are on 12-hour shifts with no days off. Just trying to make sure that you're safe, that our businesses remain intact. And but we also want to give a special shout out to our Minnesota National Guard.
Absolutely.
You probably know and have heard that they were fired upon in the last 2 days, and there's been other incidents where they've been confronted in a nasty, angrily way. I think I made a new word, nastily. Nastily. That sounds like dastardly and nastily.
That works.
Nastily way. You can use it, nastily. We got to get it into the dictionary. And, it's sad because these are citizen soldiers. They're people that volunteer their time. They sign up.
Many of them are away from their families and homes.
They're sleeping in the back of trucks. When necessary, they go overseas to fight for our country. And, they have no control over their destiny. And we just want to thank them, our National Guard members, for the service, because they greatly relieve some of the stress on our officers.
Absolutely.
Saw the hole in the window of their truck. That's pretty scary stuff. Bullet round comes right through. There's very few police officers that have that experience, and here you have the National Guard members experiencing it.
Unreal.
But Pat's got a number of items to kind of go over, some crime issues that have been going on. But before he does, just to emphasize what a small world this is, for those of you that watch us regularly, you know that we make tours of all the bars and the Holiday at Rice in Pennsylvania. Well, the last time we were with you, there was a young man in Dayglow shorts.
Dayglow yellow shorts and a white t-shirt.
And he came over and talked to us for a while, and we had a nice conversation with him. He said that, we said they're Dayglow. He said, well, it's my diarrhea shorts, because last time you pulled behind me, I had diarrhea.
And we had actually, for the Holiday station, he was on camera dancing in the street outside of the Foundry Bar.
Exactly. And we had a nice, pleasant short but pleasant conversation with him. So we saw him at the Foundry about 10:30, and then shortly thereafter at the holiday station. But 45 minutes after we saw him, you remember we went over to that domestic suspect off of Edmond and Dale, where we did pull up there for a little bit, and there was a suspect in the car with a gun in his glove compartment, and he had been cut seriously at a domestic. He apparently cut a major artery in his arm when he was breaking a window. Well, it turns out it was the same young man.
Yep.
Darius Brown. And Darius Brown that we talked to at the holiday station ended up cutting his arm when he was breaking into a house to attempt to assault his ex-girlfriend or current girlfriend. Anyhow, it was a serious domestic assault with a gun, and he ended up cutting his artery in his arm and fled in the car, got 3 blocks and passed out
from loss of blood.
And then he was found deceased. But it just goes to show you how people you come in contact with, you end up being part of other calls in the future.
It might be frozen. But people appear to be hearing us.
So Pat's going to give you a little summary of what else we got.
Quite a bit this week, or this last few days, I should say.
Fire away there, Pat.
All right, on, let's see, the 18th, so that was just yesterday. Over at Hennepin and Lagoon, now we were talking about the National Guard and how appreciative we are of their being here and helping to keep the Twin Cities safe. There were some National Guardsmen stationed at Hennepin and Lagoon in Minneapolis in the Uptown neighborhood. And a man drove by, held up an AR-15 style rifle and shouted out threats to a National Guard member. Well, they ended up finding him and the vehicle at the Uptown Transit Station and arrested him for terroristic threats. And he had a 9mm handgun on his person and a rifle with a 30-round magazine in the vehicle. He ended up being arrested and lodged into jail. Now, at about 4:20 in the morning yesterday, there were National Guard personnel and police officers at a post in Minneapolis at Broadway and Penn. And a vehicle drove by, and an occupant of the vehicle opened fire on that post. Now, there were a total of 11 shots were fired. 2 shots hit the guard vehicle. 2 of the guard members suffered, fortunately, minor injuries from glass shrapnel. And that's actively under investigation.
I was surprised to hear that they had him stationed at Broadway and Penn. Just because there's a lot of shots fired in that area.
A lot of shots fired in that area.
And most of the St. Paul, the Minneapolis officers don't park in that area for too long a time themselves. So
there's a lot of businesses in that area.
Yeah, and good businesses, but
yeah,
at nighttime it's a different.
Right.
You got a lot of gangsters that roam the street there too.
Very true.
The cover of darkness is a great tool for criminality. That's why we have so much more crime after dark when it comes to this type of crime.
Now, at a location in Shoreview, we're not going to publicly share. There were, and this would have been early this morning, there were 2 DNR, Department of Natural Resource squad cars, parked.
Maybe we should just leave this one off.
Yeah, let's. We're not going to talk about that one. At some point we will, and the reasons why we're not will be clear.
Yeah.
Also yesterday, a National Guard member was on Highway 52 in Plato, and a vehicle, a large SUV, swerved directly at a National Guard member and then fled onto Plato off of 52. Fortunately, there were no injuries. At about 1 this morning, 5 businesses in Brooklyn Park had Molotov cocktails thrown at them. The businesses were Demore Nails, African Healthcare Providers Association, Kelly's Diamond Realty, Top to Bottom, and Pack and Ship. Each business had smashed glass, but the only one that still was on fire upon the fire department arriving was the Top to Bottom store. And that pretty much covers the major incidents the last few days. There are a couple of fresh stolens. There was, hang on here a second. Oh, just today at Regions Hospital, a Cottage Grove squad car was there for some on-duty purpose, and a man started throwing rocks at the squad car and ended up being taken into custody at the scene. Now, a couple of fresh stolens. There's a 2005 blue Toyota Sienna van taken off the 800 block of Holton, plate number 798 UTL 798 Uniform Tango Lima.
Just north of Agate and Magnolia.
And down in the Summit University neighborhood, a green 2000 Honda Civic EYW 269 Echo Yankee Whiskey 269.
We are outside of Cowboy Jack's in New Brighton, Minnesota.
Alley south of just mine and the car is clear.
Fun place to get together after hockey and football games. Got a bull in there you can ride, Pat. I can get you on the bull. We know you can't hurt your head.
Yeah, it's been proven I have a very hard head.
That's right.
Cancel medics code 4. Canceling medics code 4 1828.
So remember that the suburbs up here are divided into 3 frequencies. So the suburban west frequency has New Brighton, Moundsview, and Roseville in it. So we have to go to the suburban west frequency to monitor the calls. Obviously, in the middle of rush hour, end of rush hour traffic here.
And then the central radio frequency is the counties that patrol the unincorporated suburbs and the contract cities.
But technically, they are incorporated.
Are they?
They choose the contract with us.
I got you.
Yeah. I don't want the mayor of Shoreview calling me. What are you saying? We're out. I think we are.
See why?
Out in the Hicks
See why
somewhere?
I try to stay out of this part of the
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
I should just.
21st anything go. You can clear it soon.
How's it going?
See you in New Brighton.
Yeah.
Fletcher.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for paying attention.
I got something for you if you can pull over somewhere.
Real quick, yeah. Thank you.
Copy, 229.
There he is.
He's trying to give me a little distance so I can make sure you, if whatever he got is really bad, you get it first. Got a New Brighton resident here, stopping by to say hi up here.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hey, backseaters. This is Corky Olson, Frog Towner back here.
Frog Towner, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I got something for you guys.
Oh, thank you. Very nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
I make those.
Oh, very nice. Corky, where do you live now?
I live here in New Brighton right
Oh,
now.
you do? You're from the Frog Town originally?
Yep.
I got, is one bigger than the other?
Maybe, yeah.
Let me just check. You get the smaller one there.
I got a couple small
50,
ones.
small
I'm 50 pounds heavier than you.
Oh, Corky, I'm Pat.
Pat, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Well, thank you for your support of us, Corky. Appreciate that a lot. You're a good man.
You tuned in, and I'm like, oh, you said you're in New Brighton, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to Cubs, see if I run into him.
Oh, very cool. We appreciate that.
Well, just because of what's going on in the world right now, we don't stay in any one spot too long right now. So we're going to shove off, but great to see you.
Yep.
Thank you very
Thanks a
much.
lot. Thank you
Take
very
care.
much.
I worked on the pods down there with the hot mail.
Oh, you did? Cool.
So be all ready for visitors.
It's good work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was nice of him.
Yeah.
Some good workmanship there.
Yes, it is.
We were found already in New Brighton.
Got the information for the suspect involved in the shooting yesterday was not in the car that was stopped.
One other piece of crime news I was going to mention. I got to think of what it was. What the heck was it? Forgot now.
The vehicle they were just saying,
Yep.
he was not in the vehicle. That was that vehicle.
Oh, they found it?
Yeah, just now.
Where at?
But he wasn't in it. At Maryland and Abel.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. Good to know. Well, that's not good. Now we don't have a car to look for.
Right.
Tango. 4420 Tango. Can you assign myself and 4489 to the disorderly? Copy, smoking out to TJ
I
on
don't
Friday.
think we heard any calls up here.
3087 White
Although we had a
disorderly
chase
gas.
right over here into these. We had a chase here last summer. I was out here chasing some young men through the. We caught one of them. The other one got
4420
away.
Tango. Club Club.
But it was a freeway chase, and then they bailed off the ramp. I'll tell you this, I will say this. First of all,
8 cops squad available for 1000 Edgerton for systematics.
the New Brighton Stockyard Days Parade is one hell of a parade.
580
They
Cleveland.
didn't have it last year, but I've been in every parade numerous times in this county.
512.
And the New Brighton parade is a hell of a parade.
Is it?
It's one of the biggest parades in terms of units and the longest in terms of distance. It has to be one of the longest.
Really?
And,
Never knew that.
Subject Kurt Haney, 55.
And
Suicide, like 88 last week.
that's number one about
Campus
it.
on scene, and we'll meet up.
Number two was home to one of the best public safety directors we ever had up here, Bob Jacobson.
4420 Tango.
Bob Jacobson was the chief and the public safety director up here.
Suspect now leaving southbound White Bear. Black Ford Fusion with no front plate.
He's retired now, but he keeps coming back out of retirement. He was the acting chief in Stillwater for a while. before Brian Mueller got appointed.
You can clear it to your
But
District 26.
I offered him a job at the sheriff's office. He said he didn't want to work, and then he took another job. His lovely wife, Diane. I said, what the heck? But anyhow, Bob Jacobson spent years of contributing to this community up here in New Brighton.
Back 2001 right there. At the tactical escape room for employees. That employee is currently on scene. This 448-9-835.
Yeah, I could drive. I could literally walk the parade route.
Straight 26.
This is a long route.
2161.
We have a line on. Stop by for mental health eval. No fire needed. More code 4. There's players on arrival.
Well, I just got a message
Starting a line on.
from one of our watchers. Fong says he was behind that SUV that swerved at the State Patrol and Guard on 52. Said he was ready to help the officer if anything else went. Thank you, Fong. Appreciate that.
26 clear, thank you.
8187, you can show me on the fire phone.
That's over there, yes, John. Shots fired.
Where's that
Lost
at?
the copy. Rainy and Cypress, one caller. 10 to 15 shots heard about 2 minutes ago. Didn't see or hear anything else.
Shots fired. Radiant Cypress.
Now, is there another squad en route? Gulf 8, we're going to be en route to that area. Gulf 8, copy.
So we are going to be
26, you can send it as well.
leaving the city of New Brighton, heading over into the city of Arden Hills. As we cross over this freeway here. St. John the Baptist Church and School, fine educational institution here on the New Brighton side of the freeway. Crossing over 35W. As we do, we're getting into the Arden Hills quadrant. And up ahead of here is Mounds View High School. Mounds View High School.
Relocated over east, Route 105, short-term damage, subject motor vehicle, passenger colors, silver, Honda, severe cat ignition damage.
One of the finer, in terms of testing, this high school has some of the highest public school test ratings.
Always hear about Mounds.
Sandra Westerman is a school board member up here. Does a great job. Her son is a varsity athlete up here in several sports. You hear the birds chirping, Pat?
I do.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes. I'm okay hearing them now. Now, on those nights when we work super late,
That's
and
not
as I get home and I hear the birds, there's something just not right.
Not right about that. Yeah. Something not right.
And no, folks, it's just Bob and I tonight. Jelly Joe. Jelly Joe
He's
has
working.
the day
He's
off.
working.
Yeah, we've got a day off from us.
We'll get a call in. We'll get a call into Jelly Joe later. we're not the part of it. We're not planning to work too late. We just wanted to give you an update on everything, let you know we're okay. Our outlooks are good. We haven't burned out yet. We know there's a couple scheduled protests tonight. Most of them are, well, all of them, the big ones are all in Minneapolis. There's one scheduled right now at the Government Center. There's another one down at 38th in Chicago. But I don't think anybody's anticipating a verdict tonight. Usually it takes jurors a while to process all the evidence. But nobody can predict anything in this world at this point in terms of what's likely to happen when and how.
Right.
We just have to be ready. You know, that's the thing about Boy Scouts. Be prepared.
Golf 8.
The Boy Scout motto.
Golf 8. We got a citizen saying it was bottle rockets or fireworks. Any other callers?
That's good.
Well,
Just the one.
much prefer it being fireworks to gunshots.
Golf 8, if it's okay with the boss, we can change it to fireworks. 306 approved. 1841.
So we are in the city of Arden Hills. I think David Grant is the mayor here still. I'm not positive, but pretty sure.
Lindy's Steakhouse, a Twin Cities favorite.
Oh, it's Lindy's Park across the street. That's nice of them.
Yeah.
They named the park across the street after Lindy's. I know some of you read the statistics that we posted. Pat and I are still shaking our heads at those numbers.
Unreal.
And, you know, we greatly appreciate, well, you backseaters. Thank you for, you know, thinking we're worth watching.
You are the main reason that we hope we are successfully spreading some awareness.
We won't hit 9 million views tonight, but probably on the next broadcast, we really think about that 9 million views just on YouTube.
It's unbelievable.
And but you know, it is possible that we'll hit 3 million hours of watch time tonight.
Wow.
I don't think that's possible. Well, what are there? How many people are watching? There's 7,000, 2,000, 9,000 people. No, that's not possible. 9,000 people watch 3 hours. That's only 27,000. Yeah, it's probably going to be another time. But that's an amazing number. So we are crossing over now from Arden Hills into Shoreview, but actually we're going to go south so we can take a roam through Roseville as well. Make sure we get a little time in Roseville. And as long as we're out here, I just got to say that this tavern restaurant here at Lexington and shot at it. Lexington and County Road E. You gotta try this place out. It's just casual enough and fancy enough.
Tavern Grill.
The Tavern Grill.
I heard they do a really good brunch.
Well, I've never had brunch. I got to try that though. They got curbside pickup. You can come in and eat. But they have some really good. Take a look at their menu online. They got some really good food. You know, from
Information as well as channels 2 and 3.
from the simplest thing of the right waffle 5 French. What do you call the dip? Sour cream dip or whatever. I don't know what it called. My wife knows. But I like they have an appetizer, like a sesame chicken appetizer there, where it's chicken, but it's on a stick and it's got a little sesame coating on the outside. Really to die for.
That does sound good.
So, and that, you know, the inside is, you know, very professionally done, nice and clean. Tavern Grill, southwest corner of Lex and Conrad E. For those of you skeptics, we never take any sponsoring money or any money, period.
We just talk about stuff we like.
Well, yeah, we just call it like we see it. You got a nice patio there too, huh, Pat? A little cool for a patio, but
Yeah, that's
I've never actually eaten on their patio. But southbound on Lexington.
Yeah, thank you, Christine. I thought there was a Tavern Grill in Woodbury. That's the one I've been to. Ah, Kirsten, I see you're watching Pops for a little bit. Thanks, hon. I love you.
Kirsten, I love that picture of you and Pat and the little one, and the retirement picture. That was a classic. The one that popped up on your birthday that she posted.
Yeah, that was that award ceremony over
For
Dorothy Noga's ordeal.
yeah.
Dorothy Noga, who is always, forever, a hero in my eyes. Christine, who told me about the Tavern Grill in Woodbury. I was supposed to remind you, it's Chrissy Stephanie who babysat the kiddos.
Oh, yeah. You're the best, Chrissy. Thank you for everything. Great babysitter. Now you got your own kids. I don't know how many, but thanks for watching. He's a great role model for my daughter. Nowadays, you're lucky if you got babysitters that you can trust, you know?
Yep.
So we are in Roseville. I want to go into this parking lot here. Just to let you know, the city of Roseville does have a license center.
This is the one I go to.
A lot of people don't know they can find them in the suburbs as well. They do a great job here. But just because that new identification is being required, they have passports here too. You get passport application. So rather than get the unique ID, just come and get a passport, and then that qualifies you to fly anywhere.
Anywhere in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada.
For the ID, but the passport lets you go everywhere.
Yep. That's where I got both there. I got the, what do they call it? The enhanced DL?
Yeah, enhanced deal. That's what I was
Well, they got, yours is right too. They have two different levels.
By the way, we can't go any further than saying Red Savoy's Pizza. You know, we miss Red Savoy's downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Here it is. The VFW has Red Savoy's Pizza.
Nice.
And plus honoring our fallen soldiers.
Information to squad.
Right there. Roseville
CSC is only going to
VFW.
have one mechanic on until 2200.
Should we stop out here before or after hockey games? Over here at the Roseville
164-174.
Ice Arena Skating Center. Really a nice setup out here. They got a community center, police department, fire department,
Unit 509. Can you check the address?
and the John Rose Oval.
Name and description are in the call. He is missing out of the
To our right here. I think we've driven in there a few times before.
Yep. That was one of the places we stopped in during the medallion hunt.
Well, that's right.
1850.
25, you can cancel 174 if you'd like.
174, you are clear.
Okay, thanks.
Kind of nice to actually have have a daylight for the camera, huh?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's.
I got a message that was a little blurry. I hit the focus and it seems like it's doing pretty good now.
Yeah. Sometimes if your data stream to your phone isn't right, they'll downgrade it while you're watching it to your phone.
Up code 4, you can cancel 612. 2364, please.
It's pretty good. So we are headed southbound in Roseville back into the city.
Oh, there's also state troopers from Ohio and what, Nebraska?
Well, we heard today Ohio, Missouri, and Nebraska. I had heard how Ohio and Missouri, the Nebraska ones, were a surprise to me. They coming in to assist the state patrol, who's been overwhelmed, and really some of the responsibilities they've had with assisting over in Hennepin County. Anybody remember what used to be on Lexington and County Road B here? Maybe it was Lexington and Roselawn. I don't know. I got it. I think it was right there, Lexington and County Road B. Southeast corner, Lex and B. The go-to place. I don't think they even make it. It could be Roselawn. I'm just going to check up here.
Okay.
But we'll keep watching the comments.
I'm watching.
Now there's no making sense of the fact that my last request was Snuffy's Malt Shop. You know what I mean? I just want you to know this is not like an accident or something. Snuffy's Malt Shop.
Yeah, 254.
Yeah, it was the one back on County Road B. County Road B in Lex, southeast corner.
What was there, folks? We got a burger chef, somebody said.
Disregard the figure.
Lexington Elementary School.
Okay.
Well, I hope I'm not wrong.
Bridgman's.
Bridgman's. There it is.
Pete, you get it right so often.
Bridgman's. See, Snuffies, Bridgman's. It's all about ice cream. It's all about ice cream. Oh, by the way, as long as we're here, my wife, who I love to death, you know, greatest wife ever. I probably shouldn't insult otherwise, but greatest wife ever for me. This is her first job right here. Right there.
I'll
See
be
that?
darned.
First job. The Dairy Queen. Lexington Dairy Queen. Now this one does not have a drive-through though. I've never figured out why they didn't put a drive-through.
That's too
You have
bad.
to walk up to the park and walk up to the window. "16 years old working at the Dairy Queen." It's good for kids to have some work when they're younger. Keys Cafe. Another regular stop. Right here on our left, not to be confused with Ted's Liquor Lounge. I like Ted's though too. Meet Roy Magnuson from Como up there at Ted's once in a while.
$23.66. Can I be advised?
It looks good, huh? I just got another message that it's blurry, but I think it looks good. South on Como, south on Lexington, down to Como Lake.
Our friend D Walsh used to work at that Bridgman's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Small world. Yeah, my father-in-law, Jim Ryder, used to take his family there all the time.
Huh.
You know, who had the Lollapalooza, Bridgman's or Shakey's?
Bridgman's.
Bridgman's, the Lollapalooza.
And if
Yeah.
you ate the whole thing, it was free.
Yeah, that's what they said, but you always felt guilty. But the Lollapalooza, I had one once. Lollapalooza.
261.
That message we got, it was the monitor they were watching it on that was the problem. Not our
report with Central. Shark teams, golf teams.
not our line.
1858.
So we are at the beautiful Como Lake. Mile and a half around if you want to get out and get a little exercise.
Cozy's Pub.
Como Golf and the Cozy Pub. We don't get into these normally in the winter. At night you really can't see them, but some great sliding hills out here as well. But you can see the nice, kind of built like the. Isn't that terrible that we both just lost our same words at the same time?
Arboretum.
No,
Conservatory.
Conservatory. Kind of built like the conservatory. Same shape.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. We're getting too much alike. That's scary.
There will be no roll call today from this point until further notice. 1859.
Look like many people out here. So back behind that wall over there, Pat, you can see that little hill over there.
Yep.
See, you can see the conservatory out there, right, in the distance.
Uh-huh.
And then to the right over there is where the bears used to be in those caves. Remember the bears? We used to get calls them all the time on the bears. And then people would come and taunt the bears, and then they'd run out onto the golf course. chase them on the golf course. This is where the car went down when we. In fact, the robbery, the Clark's.
This is it.
Clark's gas station robbery. Pat was with his partner. I was with Mike Beeson, and at the bottom of the hill, over this hill, that's when I infamously forgot to tell the driver to throw the keys out of the car. The driver got out, laid down, but the passenger took the car and went off this cliff down this hill.
Did a hard left and right down the cliff.
We didn't see him, so we went as fast as we could over the hill.
And he was gone.
Yeah.
Took us a while to find him.
So one of them we caught up in the neighbor in Como. The other one got away and we never caught. We caught 2 out of 3.
Yep.
2 out of 3.
Got their guns.
Oh yeah, the guns were in the car, but yeah, I remember coming across the end here and running into the NAO that was blocking traffic for us and said, "Where'd they go?" I said, "Who are you talking about?"
Well, let's backtrack.
Right off the cliff. This is a beautiful park. No, I didn't see the story on the news, but there was a story on the news. It's one of 4 major parks in the country that are actually free.
Really?
Yeah, it was on the news like last night or the night before. If some of our viewers can tell us where it was, but one of the 4. I mean, I suppose that certain size, but there are very few parks, zoos. Maybe it's zoos. 4 zoos that are free. My wife and I had our wedding pictures taken down here in front of the conservatory.
Well, my wife Trish and I got married over at the gates.
Oh yeah. You got married there,
by the
huh?
pavilion. Yep.
That's awesome. Gates ajar, they call them, right? Gates ajar, because they're like.
Yep.
Men wouldn't understand that, but gates ajar. Do you remember the carousel that used to be at the fair? Isn't that the one that's in there now?
Yes.
They moved it to the old town center, town square downtown for a while. Now it's back out here. It's one of the original carousels inside this building here.
This is where it belongs in my mind.
Yeah. There's a truck we were chasing earlier.
I wonder. That looks just right.
So there's the conservatory, beautiful building, and of course behind there is Sparky the Seal, Casey the Gorilla. I think Casey's passed away now, right?
And booking
Yeah,
copy and
I
route
believe so.
1599 St. Anthony.
A lot of good memories, but one of the only zoos that's free.
I did look and color the history of calling in similar incidents. 1903.
Got rides here for the kids, Como Town. I'm not sure when it's opening up, but won't be too long. They got a primate house, giraffes, tigers. It's an exceptional local zoo. And the old zoo director, John Fletcher, no relation to me.
Yeah.
Booking 211. Can you hear the
My
constable?
old friend Steve Hurwitz. Steve Hurwitz worked for raised money for the zoo for many years. This is called the Mighty Mouse, right?
That I don't know. I'm not certain.
is an African hoof stock building. So this is giraffe feeding right here. This will be all open here in another couple weeks. You got to get out here. It's a good place to go amidst COVID.
It's a great zoo. You said one of 4 zoos that's free, right?
That's what they said in the promo for the news. I didn't actually get to see the whole story, but I'd like to. It makes you appreciate what you got here, right?
Yep. What was the name of that tortoise that everybody rode? What was the tortoise's name, folks?
And you couldn't really ride him. You just sat on him, right? Because he didn't move. He was like 100 years old. The tortoises, seriously, these tortoises, and they might have been from South America because that's where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in South America. It's a big continent, so I'm not pinning myself down to any one particular country. But you could sit on them.
Casey is 38 and at the Louisville, Kentucky Zoo.
Really? Okay, good to know.
267.
Good to know. So I'm sure it wasn't the same Casey, it was probably the original, but does anybody who's been to Como Park have a kid, do you remember making those plastic models where you put your quarter in and they make the plastic models for you of Casey?
Oh, cool.
It has a unique smell to it. It has a unique smell. If you've ever been to Como Zoo when you were little, you know what the smell of those plastic models
like melting plastic smell.
Exactly.
Yep.
They melt the plastic, pour it in there.
I'll take that conversation down before.
I read you some of the history about how the city purchased all this land from a farmer at one point, but I'm not going to belabor it, but it's sometimes you look back 100 years and say, thankfully, there was people that were smart enough to think ahead.
Toby the Tortoise.
Toby the Tortoise, that's it?
That's what
I
I'm
don't remember
told.
his name. I was a Sparky the Seal kind of kid. Oh, and when they remodeled it, if you ever got a chance to watch the polar bear do his thing in that water pool, you got to see that polar bear back and forth. It's just swimming in a pool of water. It's pretty cool. So we are heading back into we're in the city, but we're going to get into a little further into the city here shortly.
The Como neighborhood here. Nice neighborhood. Happy 48th birthday, Jen. Tim let us know that it is.
I forget the name of the church that was down here that got torn down last year. I gotta say, I love old buildings, maybe because I'm old myself. But
oh hell, you're a kid.
Was that St.
You're younger than me.
Andrews? I gotta go back around the block, but it's a beautiful stained glass windows that were here. And that's got torn down for a new development. It's hard to watch it fall. right there. Looks like they certainly made fast time building something new, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
I guess that's progress, huh?
I guess.
It's a beautiful, beautiful church.
Happy 60th birthday, Beth.
So for some of our new viewers, welcome. My name's Bob Fletcher. I have the honor of serving as the sheriff here in Ramsey County, Minnesota, which is the county that encompasses our capital city of St. Paul and about 12, 13 other suburbs. We're right across the river from Minneapolis. Obviously a lot of things taking place here in Minnesota. I worked for the St. Paul Police Department for 20 years. Where I got to know Pat, and then I now have been sheriff for 18. Maybe I was at St. Paul more than 20. You kind of lose track.
Yeah.
And either case, with me is Pat Scott. He was a 30-year veteran of the St. Paul Police Department, retired, and I talked him into coming back to serve as an analyst, crime analyst, because there's nobody that likes keeping track of crime better than Pat. So at some point I'm going to get his license reactivated again. But you are in the city of St. Paul, Minnesota. What time is it? 7:11. 7:11. We've been back on for 1 hour.
Domestic caller said she's scared of her husband and that they both have been drinking and having an argument. She also said she was leaving and then hung up on TC and we got voicemail on the call.
So we are driving back into the city. We've got 6 radio frequencies that we monitor, 3 in the city and 3 in the suburbs. We try to do the best we can. We certainly monitor the one in the area that we're in. We try to monitor the other ones and assist when necessary, intervene if we see some crime, or engage the community as often as we can.
That's our number one priority right there. And you'll often hear, because of us monitoring 6 frequencies, you'll often hear what sounds like a fairly high priority call, and people will wonder, why aren't they going to that? Well, it'll be because it is extremely far away from where we are. What's the land area of Ramsey County?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I want to say 150 miles.
Well, I know this. Just north of the city is just like to go from. I mean, it's 9 miles from the city to the northern border, and then that's just north and south versus east and west. But there are a number of cars. There's never been more police cars in Ramsey. I'm getting hoarse. Pat, you're going to have to carry the day. From here on in, it's all you.
I was close. It's 170 square miles. So there may be something many, many miles away from us that sounds like a high priority call that it's not practical for us to go to. Yeah, I personally make a point of whenever I see any National Guard personnel, I thank them for being here. I thank them for what they're doing. I thank them for their service.
Booking 2, I have you check for a suspicious vehicle. Caller believes it's been involved in a theft of a copper previously. It's a white Chevy truck, 805 uniform Charlie Whiskey. Caller does not need to be seen. On area check.
2161.
Oh, Brian, your son is graduating June 11th. Logan, congratulations. You made it. You're going to be graduating June 11th. Way to go.
The male have called and says he's fine. He doesn't know where Mary went. If you could proceed to check on things.
High school or college? What do we know?
Well, Logan is a special needs student, and he's graduating June 11th.
Awesome.
That is fantastic.
All the cars that are gone from, that parking lot is always full. I'm suspicious. My mother used to say that. That's suspicious. I just thought that was a good line.
Now, that was a great question somebody posed. For the out-of-state officers coming here, but is it the governor that grants them the arrest powers and authorities?
Well, that's a great question, because there was a lot of research done on that in the last 3 days, and I was partly in the middle of it because they called me to see if the sheriffs could empower them, as if there was a special duty under the sheriff's provision. After a little bit of research, turns out that the sheriffs do not have any more power than the chiefs.
Okay.
Well, there are some things, but not in terms of deputizing. There's no, in some states you might be able to deputize anybody else you want, but in the state of Minnesota, the post license prevails in terms of the sheriff deputizing someone. However, under the Emergency Management Act, the EMAC that they're under, there are provisions where, under that federal compact agreement, that they can come in with licensing authority. So I really think what it amounts to is that the governor has authority to ask for them under that federal provision, and then they come in with full licensing authority.
Okay.
That's the best that the lawyers could figure out.
Well, that was a good question.
No, it's
I didn't really know the answer to it either.
Yeah, and no one did, to be quite candid with you, but it sounds like the lawyers have decided that that's the intent of that federal law, kind of preempts some of the local. Of course, if something goes wrong and somebody gets hurt by somebody, I'm sure the lawyers will have to sort that out again. I want to say welcome and to Alex and Danielle. Thank you for watching. Your new backseaters in the Shoreview area. Thank you for watching while the arrival of your child, Carter James.
Awesome name.
Watching with Jill, who just passed the bar examination. Congratulations, Jill.
Congratulations.
For passing the bar. Pat is a bar graduate as well. He's got a certificate from the Sherwood. The Sherwood. So we are at Holiday. Obviously, this isn't bar closing, but we just stopped here during the daytime for a few minutes. We're going to adjust our radios, make sure we're all on the right channels. This will be on 1. What do you got over there, Pat?
3.
Relatively quiet, right?
Yes, it is.
Relatively quiet.
In a hurry.
daylight. Actually, after 7 it's fine. After 7 it's fine. Rush hour traffic is the worst. The worst. We're on Rice Street over here in St. Paul. Remember Karen Fabry, the Unusual Furniture? Somebody just bought that building. I saw it in the newspaper. They're going to do something with it.
Aha.
I got to get that sign though.
Absolutely.
Karen Fabry. Well, that guy's
He does not like going to the intersection.
such a hurry that he tried to bypass that, but it's the speed that troubles us. Whoop. It's us. What do you think? Well, you gonna counsel him, Pat, or what?
Yeah.
I might get to counsel him. No, he might be on my side. Oh, we're gonna let him. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let him park there in the handicap, and then we're gonna give him a $200 warning. Okay, sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Good. You running it?
Mm-hmm.
So the only punishment we're going to give him is the fact he's got to walk back there and get in his car. What kind of car is that? Is it a Buick or what is that?
That is a Mercury Milan.
9173, 9174. 3 for both. 1910 Virgil Road for a cub. That's not cub.
List of
Male
female.
from the store
Right here.
Southbound White Bear.
Let's jump to that copy house in 950 Jefferson Commons. There's a male that was engaging in narcotic use. Does not live there and has been wandering around. White male in the 30s, 5'10", thin build, wearing a dark green raincoat and jeans. He is currently inside the business center room, and color is inside.
How's it going?
The office with the door locked. Information in 18.
You got a handicap sticker? You do? Oh, is it supposed to be hanging up? Very good. So, second question. You don't have a sticker that allows you to speed down Rice Street, do you? Well, you were speeding. Thank you. Drive a little slower in the future. What? I don't. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a good one. Oh. Oh, there he's putting his sticker up.
There's the handicap sticker.
There we go. That was way too fast. Right? He's
Way
driving.
too fast.
Way too fast.
Yeah, you just need a district enforcement.
5445 Jackson Drive, 204. Domestic report about a over 50 hours.
Excellent. That's his address and called her screaming, said that someone's torturing him. It's going to be a Joseph Whip. There's also 2 children at this address.
Copy. Is there any priors?
I have lots of priors of a fraud, welfare check, domestic harassment. Comp is also stating this is a drug house.
Copy.
Oh, good.
1924.
Can you head to Fort Parkway and stand in and assist the FEMA about 2 parties harassing each other and requesting a district squad?
Copy.
Well, there is a call here in Marion of someone being tortured. Well, it's hard to...
160, are you able to back?
It's not really clear if they're being...
if they're being actually physically tortured.
Physically tortured, but
Might be being.
they weren't. I mean, they're able to make a phone call, right? But Pat and I might get out just to go make sure that nobody's hurt until the squad gets here. Supposedly, it's got a history of a drug house. But it just might be the kind of call that requires Bob and Pat personalities.
Indeed.
So we're gonna it's 8:56, right?
Yep.
$2,400. We'll stop at 8:56. Marion, we're right there. Make sure everybody's okay until the squad shows up.
Nope, that's two. Oh, okay, there we go. Yep.
I thought I'd park one
Yep,
away.
I appreciate it.
We will be back with you guys in a minute.
Leave that address is fine.
8-5 Tango, I copy.
Wait a minute. Well, strike team's coming now too.
Probably not excellent at the address about screaming things on the torture.
Door looks ajar.
Well, we gotta go in either way.
261.
261.
Oh, here's some screaming.
For squad's info, this address has previous history of a person being tortured at this address, but nothing was found at the time each officer went to the address.
Copy that.
The guy who lives here being tortured.
$91.73. Just some information. This male has his address associated to him at 1695 County Road D. David, apartment 291. Copy. Suspect associated address 1695 D. David, unit 291 at 1928. Four 493 Tango Squad, their clear report. Copy 1828.
We're code 4 here. Only one party here.
Copy. Code 4, only one party at 1929. 4489. 4489. Can you show me on CPV at the mall? Copy.
Take 4.
4.
And 160 is on 4. Whoever was looking for him.
What, 370?
Okay. I think you got to rename our squad number.
261. You can cancel all the squads now.
Strike Force 24. Anyhow,
2361 replacer.
long and the short of it is,
2006.
Did you copy?
there was a conflict earlier, but one of the parties left. Right? I mean, that's
in a nutshell.
The woman wasn't being tortured. She was fighting with her children's father, and somebody called on the phone. But that other party is no longer here, so...
32.
Which is very emotional.
Very emotional. But we turned it over to the St. Paul squad.
272, I copy.
No longer... Eat that for a minute. Yep. Good, how are you, buddy? Oh, geez. It's almost fun watching you try to hit that circle. We would have been back a long time ago. It took Pat 45 times to hit the off mute button. So anyhow, that call was all fine.
Copy. Can you search the area?
Somebody was asking, why was that guy screaming when you first pulled up? Well, that was my first thought too, but that was actually some kids across the alley in their backyard just being kids.
That's what we thought for a minute.
In a light blue Chevy with no plates.
Things aren't always what they appear to be.
That's right.
Objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear.
That's been a few comments that have come across saying that there's supposedly a large fire at a church in North Minneapolis.
Really?
Yep.
That's not good.
No, indeed.
That's not good at all.
I'm going to take a look and see if I can find something on that real quick.
Last year's ad, unknown affiliated.
Go ahead.
Just be advised, they're at the Noodles and Company on that corner.
2-alarm church fire, 2200 5th Street Northeast. Part of the church collapsing and fire crews were ordered to evacuate. That's not good.
Squad for stolen gunpoint vehicle.
Hang on.
300 South Wausau Boulevard, Anvil, Canada. Echo Golf Hotel 073, a 2016 silver Subaru Forester. Retrieving fresh stolen at gunpoint from 300 South Wausau Boulevard. Echo Golf Hotel 073, 2016 silver Subaru Forester. All squads at 36.
Hotel 073, 1937.
So Forester's kind of that small SUV, right?
Yep.
Well, that is unusual.
DNR copies.
That's right up by where that that Charger with the stripes got stolen from.
2372. We're going to try to get over to 36 and 35E.
Information on squads on a robbery at gunpoint out of Little Canada, 300 South of
Was the
Wausau.
car taken or was it just used?
Golf Hotel 073, silver.
She's saying robbery at gunpoint.
Forester, last name eastbound South of Wausau. Information to detail squads on a robbery at gunpoint carjacking that occurred in Little Canada at 300.
All right, I know exactly what you were going to say. Don't I? All right.
Eastbound South of Wausau, so
Thank you.
5 minutes ago.
Bye.
Similar squads at 1938.
I'm going to mute real quick.
Huh?
I'm going to mute real quick.
Of course.
We're back.
What? I just don't think they're going home right away.
Oh, no, me either. I was just,
I was gonna try and check the exits here.
I'm sorry, I was just saying it as a reference point.
We don't.
What's that right there? Just turned.
367.
Told me on a suspicious activity. Use raining and pain. Got a male flying a drone near team.
Raining and pain, copy.
Don't say we're gonna go with him. Go for you.
Stuck caught at the light.
Tell our viewers what we're doing here.
So we are looking for a vehicle that was just carjacked up in Roseville. It's a 2016 silver Subaru Forester. Echo Golf Hotel 073.
If you're out and about, feel free to look for it.
Edward Henry Golf 073.
Henry Golf?
That was your way.
Are there any other vehicles involved?
That's a good question. If it was carjacked.
Check.
367 BMW.
Mike 431. Copy that.
Coming in car to car. Go ahead. You need anything on the scene there? I'm just checking the area.
I think that's from the camera.
Yeah.
Right street at 36 before I go back talk to the town. Chevy.
Is that from Joe?
Correct plate for the comp.
Who's that from?
That is
Edward Henry.
one of our very reliable LTAC listeners.
Got it. Very good.
Echo,
Lake Road and 4th Street for a suicidal
Echo
male
Hotel
who
Golf.
intentionally cut his
I don't know.
finger.
You might be right. I wouldn't assume anything yet.
Just 110-9 for that vehicle carjacking, gunpoint, got a little Canada. Corrected plate of
That's
Echo
corrected
Hotel
plate.
Golf 073.
Corrected.
Two male suspects.
You're
Approaching
right.
on foot.
We just got
First
corrected.
was black male, 6 feet average build, wearing a black North Face jacket, and black pants. Second black male, 26 feet tall, average build, red coat, jeans, white
The black male.
and they used a black pistol. The booty squad, I think 1941.
red coat and jeans on one.
$23.72. It ran 35 east southbound all the way to 94 with negative results.
Too far behind.
35 feet and 94 there. Six, can you put me on 267?
They usually dump them in this apartment
Copy
complex
that.
behind the place.
And 375 is en route to 720 East 7th Street on the suspicious. It's 1942.
Two black males, one armed with a black pistol, vehicle left eastbound on Southwest Boulevard. Updated information, 1942.
$160, 23 to block.
At 1943.
That belongs here.
Is this your Mountain Dew?
Yes. You have one in back?
No, just toss me a squirt. Thanks. That's good.
9175.
Do you know if there's any weapons currently involved and what kind of truck he's in?
Negative, they're not saying it was accidentally cut with an object in the trunk.
And 162, I copy. You'll be checking the area around 1629 Hartford for people driving carelessly. It's going to be a black Ford Explorer, Minnesota plate, Mike Hotel Golf 054. 1944.
$89.21.
2-1, go ahead.
Vehicle data, please.
Copy.
1302.
1302.
Will you add me to the board 81200, and you can put me on 367.
If you're out and about, you see that Subaru, call 911.
And the plate was slightly corrected. It's
westbound, watching for the vehicle in relation to the robbery call.
Echo Hotel Golf 073, EHG 073.
So
I doubt they're done. I doubt they're done for the night.
No.
This is just the beginning.
And 9175 is going to be in a white and blue Ford tow truck.
No other vehicles were seen. They were first seen on foot.
This is where I found the last one.
9175.
Yeah, with the mail in Minnesota, Yellow Boy Paul 9192.
Copy the plate, 1946. 4420 Tango in the area. Copy, 1946.
Nippy in here.
2165, I'm out with the cop. With the cop, thank you, first.
Four for 89. I believe I have the vehicle here at Rosemont and Payne. No freight. Out with the vehicle at Rosemont and Payne. 1946.
Good to know. Good work if that's the case.
Looking for a ride to Maplewood initially.
Maybe it's a different vehicle.
That's what I
That's what it
Lots
was.
channels 1 and 2 are temporarily tied.
Maybe they just took the
47.
plates. Maybe she's looking for a different car.
That it is.
It is? Okay.
Yes. That was a
4420 Tango, I'm out with them both as well.
suspicious vehicle call.
Copy 1927.
Okay.
That's. What's that?
Up there?
Yeah. It was either a Toyota or a Subaru.
4496, 4478.
4496.
This is where they dumped it last time, right up the street here.
4478.
Area 1730 Atlantic Street for suspicious man
Last
today.
time they were being chased.
Been in the area 3 times today. Last seen northbound Atlantic, occupied by one.
That's a Toyota.
Good location,
Four,
because this backs up right to the trail.
1948.
4478, copy.
Good we can get on that trail.
1302 will be 10.
1948.
1302 clear, 19.
44 for medics.
Code 4 for medics at 1948.
Where was the last one first spotted? Oh, what's that? I think it's a Rogue, but I'm not positive.
Can't hurt to hang out. I don't know.
I'm clear. Hard place 78.
Copy 4478, you're clear.
What year is this one that was stolen, do you know?
16.
78, copy, thanks.
16, so. Not shiny new, but new.
That is a Rogue.
Well, generally speaking, there's these carjackings on the other side of town. Not to say the kids don't live over here, but you know, people that they're actually jacking, so.
5183 row with the female at the UPS store.
We can go over the other side if you think. If we think they're going to do another one. So we haven't been over here on the east side much tonight either, so.
First quarter available. So fire call. User. Fletcher.
So Monday night. No Monday night football.
So this carjacking we're talking about,
What was that, 367?
it was taken at gunpoint.
370. Squad be able to swing by 1134 Bradley.
Similar to yesterday.
And it's silver.
What's going on with Bradley?
384 will be clearing soon.
On what?
We'll head there.
1154 Bradley.
Definitely not.
1950.
Definitely not.
Okay.
It's not coming up yet.
8187 arriving. 1950.
Oh, there it is. Parking complete.
That's it. Thank you.
4489, checking your status.
89 control.
Copy controlled at 1951.
If we do end up going west, this looks like it may be turning into a longer night than we thought. I'm going to need to grab the cord.
Did you leave one in here?
I left it in my car.
Yours or mine?
Mine.
So mine's still here.
Yeah, but it doesn't work with this.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's the same cord. I brought the cord. I brought a brand new cord for this one with me.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, I had the other one for the old one in here, but I brought the.
Oh, I like how you think. You definitely were a Boy Scout.
Be prepared.
You were a Boy Scout, weren't you?
2718.
2718.
Make sure check the other end first, because I might have two different cords in here. Does it look the same as yours?
Code 4 on Roselawn
This
at
is it.
1952.
This is for the Dell.
4493, can you go through report?
1953.
Damn.
Yeah, I got mine working. I had the smartest man in our office get it working for us.
5185 Tango, I'll be over with 83.
Perfect.
So, for those of you that are listening, just because we don't have time to monitor everything, and we always like to know what's going on other places, can you tell us what's happening over there in Minneapolis? Brooklyn Center? Just leave a comment on how it looks in terms of numbers. We know there are 3 gatherings, Brooklyn Center, Minneapolis, and
2165
Downtown Minneapolis,
the front
and then
plate is on the passenger side at an angle. Also a COB sticker, COBB, in the back on the driver's side.
is that on ours?
I believe so.
Sticker in the window or bumper. No, that one's in the window. Okay.
I gotta do something. I forgot. I got a little neighborhood policing I gotta do as long as we're over here in this neighborhood. Stop by and talk to a family real quick.
Just hearing a lot of people in Minneapolis, and it's crazy in Minneapolis.
We're not looking for,
Looking for-
a definition, just numbers.
Just numbers of people, please.
And if it's, and specifically, if you want to say what they're doing, that's fine too. One person's crazy is another person's party.
That's right. Someone said Jesse Jackson just finished a speech at the courthouse and there are large crowds. The streaming is showing.
4596. Chris Chile.
Said it looks peaceful, but a lot of people.
Copy cleared at 1956. And 4481, I copy now to 1880 English on an area check of a white Ford Tahoe that had drug consumers occupied by floor in between two abandoned trailers. That's approximately 5 minutes ago.
I'd love to grab
Projection
it for you a
given.
minute. Is there an envelope in there? That one right there. That one.
141, you can clear that out. I'll check it on patrol.
Information squad, Midland medics are responding to 1900 Sharon apartment 228 for a 59-year-old female conscious and breathing with pain at 1957. Four foot 89. You're going to clear spot with that. Copy, 1958.
$51.82. $82. 1857 narrow, 91-year-old female. Fell in the driveway, possible hip fracture. Copy. $21.61, $23.61, around to $3.51 before. $3.20. Comp's boyfriend trying to hit the comp, having a schizophrenic attack, not making much sense.
Now, if we weren't, to be honest with you, if we weren't live on patrol, Pat and I might sit down at Maryland and 35 for an hour and a half, just waiting for the car to come by, knowing that intersection is prime for so many of these kids. But that would be a little boring for you.
Right.
Chevron 2. Chevron car guard.
Gulf 8 traffic.
Mazda.
Gulf 8, go.
Rotary.
7th in Duluth. Charlie Papa Zulu 053.
No, I'm going to put this on 3, okay?
7 Duluth, copy.
This one. 2.
I got this one on the Strike Force channel, so, but that one's on scan, so we'll still.
7th and Frank, slow to stop.
7th and Frank, slow to stop. Is there a squad close to assist?
To the left here, right? Which way is he going?
Well, he said Duluth first, so.
I don't know.
639, not close. I can start that way.
7 minutes, car to car.
639, if you would, till the code 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
These were hanging out at the apartments all day. Why don't you come over here?
Gotta be around with that.
Yeah, I'm good. Need more info. Right? So here's Frank right here, and we didn't see him that way, right?
There they are.
Code 4.
2361 there. Please.
2161 in traffic.
639, did they stop?
Oh, they're on Frank just south of 7th. Stopped.
The 7th stopped. Copy. Is there a county squad out with Gulf 8?
2400.
Copy, 2400. $5185 Tango, courtesy transport. One adult female back to Forever 21, starting 772. Copy.
Is this guy a medic? Or
I'm not sure. Kind of looks like a medic patch.
let's take a quick break. We'll be back. We'll be back, guys. We're going to take a quick